Another video on Old Red, our Project 1983 Peterbilt 359. In today's video, we're going to make one side like the other and install another air cleaner on this Peterbilt. Alright, so I think we're going to go ahead and get started on getting the second air breather installed. Now, there's going to be a lot of things that need to be modified and changed and drilled and whatever to make this all work. I decided I'm going to start with getting the bracket and the air cleaner on, and then I'll worry about getting this cut out and all that stuff done after that. But we're going to have to drill a few rivets out. I believe it's going to be this one, this one, this one, and this one, but we're going to make darn sure of it before we go ahead and drill them out. Alright, so I got a pair of these stainless steel brackets here, so at some point I will be swapping out the ones on the other side here. Double checking that I'm lining up to those rivets. I am. So I'm going to go ahead and mark them with the Sharpie so I don't accidentally drill the wrong rivet out. I'm just going to go ahead and center punch these. Alright, now I am going to change any exposed hardware out for stainless steel later. I'd like to get this kind of in place and mocked up and figure out what all I need before I go buy a bunch of stainless steel hardware. Brackets are all bolted on here now. Let's go ahead and see about trying to get this in here. Now here's one downside to using a passenger side air cleaner on the driver's side. Now I had to get an air cleaner from another single air cleaner truck because the single air cleaners are larger than the factory dual air cleaners. So to have this side match the other side, I needed a factory single, and this one happened to be another passenger side. And I realized this while I was painting this, and I decided I don't care enough to do anything about it, but there is a seam on this air cleaner that when this would have been on the passenger side, it would be hidden on the back side. And because we've swapped this air cleaner over to the driver's side, this seam's now exposed. I don't think it looks too bad. I don't think you guys would have even noticed it if I didn't just now point it out to you. But that is one downside to trying to put a passenger side air cleaner on the driver's side. I stuck that boot on there mostly to try to get the angle of how this is turned correct. Obviously that's going to have to come back off. Okay, yeah, I'm most definitely going to like the dual air cleaner look better. That looks pretty dang good. Alright, well that's the fun easy part done. Next thing I gotta do is I need to make a template the other side for where this hood needs to be cut out. Probably gonna have to take these hood latches off in order to get my template and transfer it and all that stuff. And I'm hoping I can cut this hood out without doing a bunch of damage to the paint, because I don't want to have to do a bunch of paint repair on this hood. Although if we do, we do. Not a whole lot I can do about it if I screw it up, but if I do screw it up, I can fix it, so it is what it is. Alright, now with our template made, I've got a rough line drawn out on the hood. Okay, so now that we know where our cutout's going to be, we're going to go ahead and cover it in masking tape. Try to help protect the paint. There's it. Try to help protect the paint while we cut this out. Really. Freaking kidding me. Come on now. And then we're just going to go ahead and mark this out again on top of the masking tape. Now I think our straight areas here, I'm just going to use a cutoff wheel. That seems like to me like the thing to do. I don't know, there's probably a lot better ways to do this, but that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so that's my rough cut in there. You can see I didn't get very close in this corner here. Pretty close all down through here. My plan is to then come back with a flap disc and just kind of sneak up on that line. I want to stay just to the inside of it because I'd rather have a little extra material like clean up with the flap disc than to cut too far and have a real problem. Now this I'm about 50-50 whether it's going to work worth the shit or not. But we're about to find out. I got a real fine-tooth blade on I don't know what you call these, skill saw, or no, not a skill saw. I don't know what the hell you call these things, but got a real fine-tooth blade on there, and I'm going to try to use that to cut that radius of that bend out. See how this works out. I think overall I'm actually pretty okay with that. A little bit of paint chipping along the edge down here. Actually, if you notice, I put a lot less heat in it with that jigsaw there. Didn't damage the paint at all there. I imagine this got a little bit overheated in here, and that's why the paint kind of chipped back from the edge a little bit, but up around there that's real good, so that can be touched up pretty easily. I think overall I'm pretty happy with that cut. Alright, so next thing here is I need to remove the lower portion of this rubber strip here so that this filler panel can mount on. Went ahead and trimmed it where it needs to be trimmed with the razor blade. Just got to drill these rivets out here now. Alright, and so that brings us to our next hurdle. This cast aluminum piece, you can see here on this side, it's cast aluminum, 6-inch outside diameter on the outside, and it's 5.5-inch diameter on the inside. I can't seem to find that piece anywhere. Could have sworn that piece was available when I looked, I don't know, a year ago when I first started rounding up parts for this, but I wasn't quite ready, so I didn't order one, and now I can't find one anywhere. I also don't have any of the plumbing for under the hood to actually connect this. I think it's going to end up being something I'm going to have to fabricate, and it's probably not something I'm going to do today, but I do want to at least today make it look from the outside like this is all complete. To do that, I have to have some way to attach that side of that hose to this filler panel. Now this is the closest thing I've got here. Some 5-inch exhaust tubing. Cut a section of it, I split it, I spread it open till we're about the right size, and then I trace that out on there. We're going to cut that section out, weld that in here. You're going to probably have to hammer this around, get it a little more true, and then I should be able to stick this through that hole, figure out where it's going to be, and weld some tabs on this so I can bolt it on there, and that's going to be the plan for that for right now. Alright, so I got this piece made here. Basically showed you guys how I made 5-inch tube into a 6-inch tube, welded a few tabs on it to bolt it on there. It's going to work just fine for now. It actually came out quite nice. If push comes to shove, when I'm actually ready to actually plumb this into the intake, if I still can't find that cast aluminum piece, I might even just use that one that I made there. I've got all my hardware swapped out for stainless steel. I got my hood latches back on, and I touched up the paint along that edge there, so I'm pretty happy with how that looks. I still do need to swap out the air cleaner bracket on the other side so that that matches, And I also need to make a piece of reinforcement that goes along this edge. Basically just a second piece of sheet aluminum that's cut out to that shape. And you can see on this side how that's riveted on there. Just adds a little bit more support to this edge. Although this actually does seem quite sturdy how it is, we do have reinforcement in the hood just a couple inches away. So I feel like it's okay to not have that for right now, but I will add that in later. Alright, so I guess a little bit of a intermission here. I've got some stickers here that have been sitting on my desk forever. These ones from Mark over at Twin Sticks Garage, I think have been on my desk for over a year now, so I guess I better do something with these. Now, I don't normally put stickers on my vehicles, but I do like stickers on my toolboxes, so that's what we're going to do with those. If you guys don't know who Mark over at Twin Sticks Garage is, you ought to check him out. Now these ones are from Zane over at Hodgepodge Dodge Garage. If you guys don't know who he is, you should check him out. Pretty cool guy. Seems how I've got two of the same. I think we'll go over to the other toolbox for this one. Hodgepodge Dodge Garage. Go check them out. I think all that's left to do here now is just pull this truck outside so we can step back away from it and have a look. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe down below. Thank you. Have a great day.